Hello there, I'm Mtembenuzeni and welcome to the program Phenomenal Being. Today, my guest is Alexander Mtembenuzeni, an entrepreneur and also a tutor, to tell us more on what it is like to be a tutor and of course an entrepreneur. Be there. Welcome to our program.
Thank you very much.
But first of all, who is Alexander Mtembenuzeni?
All right. Well, I would describe myself as a young man who really likes to challenge himself with with new stuff, with new things. I am married. I have 2 kids. I stay in area 49 in Longwe. I have, I went to school, basically I went to Chancellor College. I have a Bachelor of Education, but I am so fascinated most with things that have to do with IT. Yeah, so I think in a nutshell, I think that's how I can describe myself.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So we have seen you more into Facebook, online marketing. You also have a page that you also do some tutorials there. Tell us more about that. What inspired you to do that?
Okay, well, as an entrepreneur, I usually test ideas. I usually have to look at new ideas and test them. And after learning that you can actually buy goods from China and you can do it all online, and after learning that you can actually put together a business and you can do it all online, you can market online and so on, I thought, well, maybe I could help others to learn these things. It's not necessarily the main things that I do. Mainly I teach people online, especially in the area of data analytics and so on. But after seeing that there is a lot out there that a lot of people in Malawi, especially small business owners, don't really understand or don't really know and haven't been using, especially buying things online and marketing online, maybe accounting, I really thought it wise to help people in that area. So that's where that came up. I basically decided to make myself into like a personal brand whereby I will be helping people by teaching them how they can do e-commerce, how they can buy things online, how they can sell things online, how they can market and so on. Yeah, so that's how it came about.
Okay.
Sure.
The online marketing, what gap did you see? You just mentioned one gap. What other gaps did you see? Because to me, I would feel the online marketing, it's now becoming common now, but not many do use the online marketing. What other gaps did you see in the online marketing?
Well, what I realized is that most people, when they think of marketing online these days, they would think about, they would create a group on WhatsApp, and then they would say, I have this group, I'm selling ABCD, or they can just put things on their status on WhatsApp and say, I'm taking orders and stuff like that. Now, there is a way in which you can be able to capture lots of customers and drive them through a certain process whereby they will become they'll become clients who will be coming now and then to buy from you. They are processes, and I also realize that most people don't utilize all the functionalities that are available online for marketing. For example, Facebook advertisement. It's really a few people who understand and know that they can use Facebook to reach out to almost, I think, about 500,000 people who are on Facebook in Malawi at the moment. So I thought it wise to help those people to know that it's possible. They can reach out to a lot of people at the same time and really sell their goods and services to that many people if they just knew how to do it right. Yeah. So those are mainly the gaps that I saw and that I wanted to fill in with the trainings and all the other services that I had been providing.
This online, we're still on the online marketing, has been saturated with the scamming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how different is your own? How real is your own?
Right. The difference is this. I only teach what I have experienced. I only teach what I have studied and have gone through, right? I have been using Facebook to market goods since 2013. Literally since I graduated from Chancellor College in 2013, I've never been employed.
Really?
Right? Sure, I've never been employed. I just came out and thought, well, I just did a little bit of, somebody just contracted me to do some trainings for them and so on. But after that, I created my own company, Unique Multimedia Technologies. We develop software, we teach data analytics and so on. And I have been doing that. I have been using Facebook marketing since then up to now. And now I have lots of big customers who, like big organizations who call me to do trainings for them. And and I have some consultancies where people come and say, can you analyze this data for us? Can you help us do this and that? So I only teach what I've gone through, and I only teach by showing people the results. If you go to on my Facebook page, I actually show you one of the trainings that I was doing, Facebook marketing. I actually made the advertisement to show people the result of what I'm doing in real time. So I advertise that this advert is going to reach this amount of people, and I'm going to get this amount of money at the end. And I was able to show people that I actually got that money and even more by using these methods that I'm showing you. So I always try, as I know people look at you and look at what you post, especially when it's online, they think you're spamming people, or you're scamming them, you want to just eat their monies. But I always like to show that, well, this is it. And now it's up to you to believe or not to believe.
That's where the other question is coming in, that how was it like? How did people react in your first post when you just introduced yourself into the ordeal?
Right. So over the past 12 months, I should say, like 2020 especially, I've been teaching people how to buy goods online. I think that's where I can highlight that a lot of people have been very skeptical. So many people have been very skeptical. The good thing though is that the way I market is that, first of all, I like to show people the results before I tell them to pay for anything. So what I did is I actually started by teaching them for free. Literally, I had so many people. I actually had about 1,000 people who went through the process of learning from me for free without paying anything.
Okay.
And I actually, from the beginning, I actually told them, you're not going to pay anything to me. These are the contacts of all the people who are going to help you whatsoever, but this is the process you have to go through. So after a few months, those people started, buying things and so on. They started getting the goods in Malawi, selling. So when I started saying, okay, you guys have to pay me for my time. So I would do the trainings, but this time you have to pay. Those people who learned for free and had been receiving their goods were coming. When I advertised them, they would say, this is legit. This guy actually taught us for free, and we actually get the goods, and we're actually getting the results. So basically, I always try to add value before I get anything. And that's one of the things that I've been trying to teach people in my Facebook marketing classes, that you first of all have to give value before you take. You cannot just think of taking. If you're a business, the best way is to give first before you can take. So the way in which I have, I think over time I have been able to remove the skepticism is that I give first, then I take afterwards. Sure.
So how did you design the modules? I don't know if you have modules. How did you design it that it should be something that is receivable, I can say, maybe to the people that you are to reach?
First of all, I have a bachelor's in education. So obviously I went through like 4 years, well, 5 if we count the academic freedom and stuff. You do remember that. So I have, I think I'm lucky because my hobby, like my career, is all about finding new things and packaging them into courses and teaching others. So it's basically a combination of entrepreneurship, IT, and education, right? So the way that I package my content is based on what the training that I've gone through as somebody who has to teach others. But of course, the challenge now these days is now in 2020, obviously with COVID, now I could not create courses whereby I would call people and then we'll have physical face-to-face courses are really difficult. So being now that I love IT is also an extension of what I do. I figured I'm going to do this online. I'm going to be teaching online. And while others would teach by just typing, I'm a media person, so I'm always thinking about recording myself. So what I do is I create videos and instructions, and then when we just create a group, and then I'll be sending the videos, but I'll not send all of them at once because I want to give people enough time to go through and ask questions. So I think the success has come out of being attentive to what people want and really listening to their problems and trying to help them in a tailored way. So I would send a video, and once they watch that, I'll ask what are the questions within the day. People ask questions, I'll respond them, and then whatever problems they have, I will do my best to. If it's something that is outside of my reach, I will do my best to make sure that I bring in other people to help until really their problems get solved, or whatever questions they have get solved. So I think that's how I would put it. That's how I've been able to package my courses. Okay. Sure.
Briefly, just tell us how it is like your module, your packaging. Okay, I'll start with this, then later we'll do like this, then after that we'll bring out this.
Okay, great. Yeah. I think I will take you through my Facebook marketing course, I think, for good measure. Okay, so first of all, in the introduction, I'll basically just introduce what we are going to cover to just get people excited and to get them prepared. Because I don't just want to start with a bang and then this is the material. Because what I know is most people in Malawi don't really do learning a lot. So I assume that you weren't really in a class yesterday or last week. So your brain is a little bit rusty. So I gotta just do a little bit of just tease some information. So that's the first thing that I do. And then the next thing that I do is I would introduce the basics of the topic. So for Facebook marketing, I would talk about what you can really do with Facebook marketing, right? So, for example, there's so many people who are on Facebook right now, and I'm sure that after this interview, you're probably gonna check your phone and be on Facebook. So you want to? I highlight the why you need to be available on Facebook and advertise and market, and what strategies you can go through. And then we'll now go deeper into the course and talk about different aspects. For example, I talk about your Facebook marketing strategy. What kind of content are you supposed to post on your Facebook page? And what kind of media or mix of media you're supposed to be using and why you need to go live, why you need to add videos, or why you need to use a lot of pictures and stuff like that. And then we'll talk about how are you going to automate your Facebook marketing? How are you going to do Facebook advertisement? That is, probably you have seen sponsored posts, posts where you pay Facebook for them to show it to so many different people. So I talk about that, and of course, in the end, I ask people to to ask a lot, whatever questions they have, especially concerning the pages or the brands that they have on Facebook, so that I can help them in a tailored way, right? So maybe people will say, I don't have enough likes or followers on Facebook. How can I deal with that? So I come in and say, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. And the other person will say, I don't know how to design. Of course, we do also tackle how to design graphics and so on in the course. But in the end, I still ask people to tell me what their specific problems are as regards to their businesses, and then we try to help them through all those problems. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. We're going for a short break. We'll be right back.
Right.
You're watching Phenomenal Being with me, Mtembenuzeni, and my guest today is Alexander Mtembenuzeni, telling us more about entrepreneurship and, of course, online tutoring. Continue watching Rainbow. Welcome back. It's Phenomenal Being here on Rainbow Television with me, Mtembenuzeni, and today we have Alexander Mtembenuzeni, a young entrepreneur and, of course, an online tutor. Be there as we continue to have a chat with him to tell us more on what will be the plans going forward. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, you've shared with us a lot on the online marketing, but now tell us if you have met anything like challenges that you'd want to share with us.
Oh, definitely. A lot. a lot of challenges. Yes. I think the biggest challenge that I have met is resistance. I think the problem that we have, especially when it comes to, I would talk mostly about my small business clients, right? On the other part, of course, the consulting part, I deal with mostly companies and so on. So I'll not talk about that, but I'll talk mostly about when I'm helping small business owners. I think the problem that we have is that there's not so many people who believe in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Lots of people just want to get employed.
Yeah.
It's really sad because like I told you, when I graduated from school, in 2013, the first thing I thought was I'm gonna do something of myself. Now I'm not saying that everyone has to be an entrepreneur, no, but I think entrepreneurship is the next easiest thing that you can do.
You call it easy?
It is easy.
Wow.
Yep. You just have to teach yourself, right? You just have to be a lifelong learner. And that's what I am. Every day I give myself 2 hours to learn something new. So either I have books that I'm reading, I have online courses that I'm learning. Some people think that I know everything because I share so much about so many things. But the thing is, I learn every single day. So the challenge, the number one, is that many, especially young people, don't really believe that they have worth in them, that they can actually take out something and monetize it for others to buy, whether it's skills, knowledge, or whatever goods and services they can provide on the market. So you try to sell them, they'll just sit there and they'll just listen, and in the end, nothing is going to happen. So it's really sad. Now, the second thing is, I think this tendency to expect free stuff. Lots of people think that they can build a business by expecting free stuff from others. It doesn't work like that. If you are a business person and you want to grow your business, you have to spend. No business grows on free things. So there are certain things that I know that I can easily get for free, but I opt for buying them because it's like, when you spend something to get something, there's basically like a spiritual connection between you and the thing. right? And that's what that kind of ownership allows you to get the best out of whatever you got, right? If I get a book, I get it for free, or let's say a course, especially if I go for a course and it's free, I haven't really given up anything, from my side. And it's basically, I don't get the best use of it if I don't pay for it, if I don't lose some energy in form of money. If I don't lose anything, then there's no connection between me and what I'm trying to get. So I think this tendency of thinking that things are supposed to be free, especially for people who want to do business, we have to lose that. And it's been a very big challenge that most people expect that I should offer things for free, or I should offer things for really cheap. Now, I do certain times, for marketing purposes. I want people to get used to what I do, to my teaching methods and so on. But in the end, if you really value what you are trying to get, if you know the result that it's going to get you, you should really consider paying for it. So I think we definitely need to lose that expectation that things have to be free or to be very cheap. Especially, I'm talking to small business owners. If this is something that is going to bring you some income, then you must consider at least spending something. Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
So, what are some of the success stories that you can share with us that out of whatever you are doing in terms of teaching people in entrepreneurship, online marketing? You've also talked about IT. What are some of the success stories that you can share with us?
Yeah, honestly, I've had so much success. I think at this.
You're so proud of yourself.
Definitely very proud of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I look at where I'm coming from, and I'm able to see that the stuff that I've been able to do within a space of, like I've told you, I graduated in 2014. I finished in 2013, graduated in 2014.
Okay.
But the things I have done between 2014 and 2020, because 2021 we just started it, so within the space of 6 years, it's a lot. And some of the stuff that I've done are not stuff that are out there, that can be seen out there, but they are foundations that I know that in the next few years they're going to go really big. So I'm really excited. One of them is that I started online courses. I started publishing online courses to the global marketplace, really. Wow. So I have courses on a platform called udemy.com. So there I have 2 courses. And right now, I have about 6,000 something students on those courses. So people actually buy those courses. Really? And I have students from all over the world, United States, India, in Africa, and really almost everywhere in the world.
Interesting.
Very interesting indeed. I actually had, I think, a UN agency contact me to say that they wanted to buy one of my courses for their staff, which is really something that motivated me to say, okay, if a United Nations agency wants to buy one of my courses online, I mean, this is huge. This is big. And I have a YouTube channel where I teach people, especially data analytics and so on, which has about, I think I started it in 2017, and it has about 7,000 something followers right now. Yeah. Which coupled with, so basically why I'm taking that as a success story is because it means I'm actually teaching hundreds of thousands of people right now across the globe. And I take that as one of, I think, the biggest achievement that I have been able to attain. Most of the videos that I have on the YouTube channel have hundreds of thousands of views right now. So I think for me to be able to impact such a number of people across the globe, I think that's really, I'm very proud of myself. Yeah, back home here in Malawi, I have several clients, which are organizations that I usually do courses with them, courses in data analytics, monitoring and evaluation, and so on, which is the main areas of what I teach. Now, when it comes to business courses, the ones I've been talking about a lot, I think in the first section of the interview, I normally just do them as a part of just helping people, really, because of the things I've been able to learn, and what I've been able, the effect that I've been able, the successes that I've been able to get. I'm basically trying to teach others how they can get the same success in terms of being able to reach out to so many people at the same time. Yeah, so the courses that I have on Udemy, I get myself an income almost every month, and I don't have to do anything. I literally just publish the course and I sit down, and every month they send me money, and that's that. So I think being able to achieve that, it is something that I'm really proud of.
3 years, 4 years from now, where do you see yourself?
Well, that's a very exciting question, actually, because 3-4 years from now, I think that I'm really going to, I'm doubling down, actually 2021, I'm doubling down on my online courses. Like I've told you, I have a big following on YouTube. I have a big following on online course platforms. So as much as I'm going to be doing a little bit here and there of teaching people how to buy goods in Malawi and so on, but I am going to spend much of my time now teaching data analytics online, because that's where I think I've been able to impact so many people at the same time. So 3-4 years from now, I'm seeing myself having taught probably hundreds of thousands of people in different courses that have to do with data analytics. Yeah, things like SPSS, data, and such kind of, for people who know data analysis, they probably know what I'm talking about. And I want to create courses and publish them and market them so that I can have hundreds of thousands of people take my courses. So basically, as a result, I'm going to establish myself as an authority in the area of instructing or teaching others data analytics. Okay. So I think if I'm able to do that, I would be so proud of myself. But it's literally something that I know is going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do in your free time?
Well, I always like to spend much of my time with my family. I do a lot of baking at home. Definitely. I like baking. I like baking. So my favorite is banana muffin. I have my own special recipe for banana muffins. Unfortunately, my family doesn't like banana muffins. They like it when I do the actual cakes or cupcakes. Okay. Well, yeah. So I always like to do that, and sometimes I record music, just for my own use. I just yeah. So I just stand in front of the mic and download an instrumentation and then record some sounds and just listen to myself and be proud of myself. So when I do those things, that really takes off pressure out of me. You must understand, with all the stuff that I've mentioned, sometimes I get really tired and pressured, and so those are the things that I do to run away from all the pressure.
And finally, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food, I would say rice and boiled chambo. Boiled. I like boiled, not fried. Okay. I actually did say one time that people who fry chambo must be locked up in prison.
Ow.
Yeah, that's definitely that's an offense because you're taking away all the flavor from the fish. Why would you fry it? So that's my favorite, and with bonongwe at the top.
Beautiful. So
Yeah,
you
so-
look on that camera and advise the young people out there on entrepreneurship and how they should go about it.
Right. Well, a message to young people who want to be entrepreneurs. Even if you don't really want to be an entrepreneur, I must sell you to the idea of being an entrepreneur. I think the first thing that you need to do is to believe in yourself. When I was starting in 2013, teaching others, creating courses and teaching others, I didn't really think that it would come to a point where I have hundreds of thousands of people watching my videos and learning new things and getting something out of what I'm teaching. And I'm very sure that that's how you feel about yourself too at the moment. You feel like you don't really have it in you to do something. But the truth is you do. There are lots of people who would like to see what you can bring out, whether it's a skill, whether it's some knowledge that you have to impart to other people, or whether it's some products that you can bring on the market. There's so many. The cool thing about being Malawian or living in Malawi is that there's so much that is not here yet. If you watch YouTube, you watch videos outside the country, you see that our friends in other countries are really far from us in terms of what they're doing, services and so on, which means there's so much that you can do. Right? There's so much that you can bring out to the country. So I would like you to take advantage of that and look inside you and find something that others can see and want to have and pay you for it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And thank you very much once again for granting us the interview.
Thank you very much for coming as well. I
Thank
appreciate it.
That's Alexander Mtembenuzeni, an entrepreneur and of course an online tutor. I hope you have enjoyed the program and of course you have been encouraged to venture into entrepreneurship. I am Mtembenuzeni. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.